Let me hear a little something.
Well, we are live. Got good audio.
You are live. Real live.
Let's get some bangers. You still throw it up on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. This is everywhere.
On personal?
This is everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Personal, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter.
We got them all going. Do another little. Thank you, thank you. Got the crazy hair today. Wait a minute.
What?
WSP.
Hmm?
Don't know. Anybody else know what that means?
I don't know, but you're about to find out.
Mm.
You just said something real.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Be careful.
They've got
I
you
shouldn't.
once
Yeah,
before.
they've got me before.
Ooh. All right. Is it okay to be in a caloric surplus for years?
That's how the body functions. Yeah, it's a good question. It's the first time I ever heard that one. I guess the new age wouldn't know that. Yeah, you would like to be in a surplus. That means that your body's utilizing everything. It's actually a great question. And I guarantee, and I've had some poorly done questions. You want to lead into this one? Go for it.
Is it okay to be in a caloric surplus for years?
I think it's smart to be. That's the one thing I think most people skip. They don't realize if they're in a surplus, then their body's recovering, utilizing the calories, and you're retaining the muscle that you have. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. And I do see a deterioration from people that live most of the year in a deficit. So just keep that in mind. It's a great question, though. It's a great question.
Is that what you said? It's smart. That's the first thing you said. It's smart.
Yeah, it's smart, and it's a smart question. Because most people, what do they do nowadays? They do the complete opposite. They run away from calories. They got to make sure they burn off everything. They are in a deficit. They want to stay lean. Yeah, I would try to do the opposite. I try to keep the metabolism firing up. And I guess a simple way for me to think of it is how I do it. Is I think of a fire, and I keep adding wood to it, and the fire burns more and more. And so I think of that as food going in, and it continues to burn. And the metabolism, that's a metaphor for the metabolism, keeps burning high. And again, that's, in my opinion, what you want to do. And that's longevity. The concept of being in a deficit and working off and staying lean by doing so much cardio and so much training, I don't think is long term.
It might damage the left elbow from jujitsu. Now the same arm gives out a few reps before the other, specifically with dips, raises, and such. Any tips?
So you heard it. You don't have a tweak from jujitsu. Yeah, sorry to hear that. That happens. Yeah, I would focus in the rep range around where the weaker arm that was damaged gives out. I wouldn't push past that. I wouldn't keep, like you said, on dips and stuff. It starts to fatigue that one before the other one. Also, I would look at peptides to try to help heal any of those old injuries and see if you can't get that strength back. And then the best you can, keep trying to work it to get it back to 100%. And that doesn't mean, let me clear this, it doesn't mean just work the one arm. Still try to be balanced and try to gauge on your improvement as you're going through it. Like if you're already fatiguing at 8 reps on dips, hypothetically, try to work up to 10 and keep trying to build up that weaker side.
Trying to figure this one out. How to compensate when starting a new exercise so you don't fall back in a broader program. Example, starting dips but being more advanced in other areas. Do you follow?
Doc, do you follow that one?
Yeah.
Read it one more time.
Yeah. Or Peter, rewrite it. How to compensate when starting a new exercise.
So compensate. How does he balance out the new program to the old one, right?
Exercise. Yeah. How do you compensate when starting a new exercise so that you don't fall back in a broader program?
I don't know what's a broader program have to do with the exercise. Yeah, I'm lost on this one. Sorry, man.
Yeah, definitely rewrite that.
I need some carbs.
Oh, no. Example, starting dips, but being more advanced in other areas. It's like,
any new exercise is gonna, that you haven't done or haven't worked on in a while. Even me, it's like I go back to high bar squats with my heels up. I'm dropping back.
Mhm.
It's not going to be my power squat, so it's okay. We haven't done that one.
do you think that's what he means?
I don't know, but I'm guessing that's what he means.
Yeah.
You always drop, which is cool. It doesn't matter that you drop back. It's a new exercise.
There's still a degree of strength that you would hope to maintain, but if your high bar is going from like 500 to 135, okay, something big off. Yeah,
Yeah,
drop.
Yeah, if it's extreme. But I'm okay going from, if it's a 500 squat and you're doing high bar with heels up and you're back to 200. Yeah, I'm cool with that for a couple weeks till the body gets used to the movement.
Couple weeks. That's nothing.
It will adapt quickly. Your body will adapt quickly.
Boom. Mike, this overnight oats bloat me so bad. Minimum 2 days a week. Do they do for you sometimes also? Thoughts?
Yeah. No. It's low glycemic, so it's going to sit on you for a little bit. But no, they don't. But anytime I was doing husk, and so husk is a fiber, and so I was doing a lot of scoops, and that would bloat me. And after probably 3 weeks, no issue. Now, the one thing I got to say is that I didn't run away from it. I knew it was just bloating because my body hasn't had that much fiber in a long time, and it just triggered me differently. I was talking to Jeff, and I said, "Does it bug you at all?" He goes, "Nope, never did, not even one day." So again, we're all different. It just works differently. But at the end of the day, if that one's gonna not make you want to, have that breakfast, I would change it up. PB 4449.
Yeah, so that's what he was talking about. Doing an exercise, switching it up,
and dropping back.
Dropping.
So here's the cool thing about that. Then I'm surprised I answered that correctly, or I read through your question. Here's the cool thing. It's always okay to drop back. You're pushing as hard as your body can handle, and that's all that matters. So I try to explain it this way. Any exercise, and you go from, dude, I did a 315 bench. So I should be able to do 150-pound dumbbells, and you could only do 100. Well, that's just your body working the way with the dumbbells differently than the bench press. And so you drop back, right? I should be able to get 150 dumbbells if I'm benching 300. And the cool thing about that is that's all health and fitness is. Push as hard as you can for you in an exercise. You're going to get better. So I don't think, the comprehension of dropping back doesn't come into play. You're doing it as best you possibly can.
Hey, Mike, how to get the family to eat healthy or go to the gym as much as you do?
As much as I do, don't do that. It's almost those 2-a-days now. So, yeah, for you, your actions are pinnacle. You stay true to what you're doing, the nutrition, the training, and then depending on who does the shopping, what the house has there, and entertainment. Try to get, if you're in charge of it, makes it much easier. Then you control what's in the house, so they're eating right. If you're not in charge, just stay disciplined. Show them the discipline. Best recommendation for me. I just, everybody around me trains. That's who comes into the inner circle.
Can I
You guys, before you jump, anybody got some great tips on that last one? See, I never had to pressure somebody, because I also know this: if they don't do it off of just watching you, they ain't gonna do it.
Can I stay in the 3 to 5 rep range for heavy pressing movements for long periods of time, or should I back off and go lighter?
You sure can, but again, everybody's different, right? So I'm going to help everybody out here. You can do that as long as you're progressing. You're getting better. You can do it as long as you want. Somebody else said, "Hey, can I stay in a surplus?" Well, if he's not spilling over and gaining too much weight too fast, then he can stay in that surplus at that level as long as he wants. Same thing here. If you're getting better, you're getting stronger, you're building muscle, stay. And that's anybody on any program. And then when your body slows or plateaus, then switch it up. But we stay at that rep range most of the year.
Yeah.
Especially on the compound.
It's a good range.
Yeah, you're hitting something. You're moving some good weight. At the end of the day, the total calculation of the weight you moved for the reps you did, with a good volume. You're doing 5 sets, you're doing maybe 7 sets of 3. It's 21 reps. It's not bad.
Any supplements for joint pain and inflammation?
Yeah, I would, if there's anything like that, I'd go to the peptides now. Now that there's something that's available, I'd go to a peptide, which is a fancy word for saying amino acids, the BPC and the TB500. Don't order it off of the website. Don't order it off of some black market website. Go to Titan Medical. That's the best call. And start taking care of it. If you're already feeling it, yeah, take care of it.
Mike, I've done flat bench twice a week for 7 years, and my chest is very droopy and hangs. How can I fix this? Looks like I've got boobs.
Yeah, well, flat bench is training mostly the lower chest, and you're pressing away because you're arching. Here's the greatest thing you've done. You've built a lower chest. So just jump on the upper chest. Focus on that. Say goodbye to bench press and focus on the upper chest. Always work, everybody here, always work on the legging body part.
Thoughts about alcohol? I've quit completely and feel so much healthier.
Smart. It's a toxin. I never drank, so, again, I'm not going to be the guy that tells you how to stop. I'm just going to say you should stop. Mona has some wine every once in a while and stuff, but yeah, I don't think your body has to clean it out before it utilizes protein for muscle again. So just understand that. understand the breakdown on how alcohol limits the use of protein in the body. So that's one thing that I understood in the late 70s is what it did. And I was like, oh, cool. Why would you want to? I don't want to slow muscle building. I don't want to miss the opportunity of gaining a percentage every day. So good for you though on stopping. Whoever it was that said that. That's great, man. And it's great you feel better.
After decades in the industry, what's the biggest myth about training or nutrition that still drives you crazy?
Everything outside of understanding it is consistency to doing this is more important than the rep range. It's just the consistency. And when it comes to training, it's just the consistency. Stay in it, be smart, move through the exercise. And that's it. Just leave it alone. Because there's so much factors outside of that. And then you're just confused and you're frustrated and all that. And then the second thing about nutrition is a surplus is going to help you build muscle. A deficit is going to get you lean. Understanding those two things. Make sure you take your foods in. And again, so that's just keeping it real simple. And I think the cool thing about weightlifting, and the movie last night even talked about it, is that it is simple, but you just got to do it every single day. Mm-hmm. And you got to stay on the nutrition every single day. That's the toughest thing, is the discipline of doing it. So yeah, that's the myths of, well, if you do this rep range, you're going to be Mr. Olympia. If you run away from carbohydrates, you're going to be healthy and look the very best for a moment. So all those kind of things, I think, just the layman's person gets sucked into and believes, and then they don't see the changes. Well, I've been doing rep range of 8 to 12 for hypertrophy, and so what's going on? Why aren't I dense muscle? Why aren't I thick? When I turn sideways, I disappear. Yeah. Well, you listen to the science-based stuff. It's just time. It's time.
Walking lunges or stationary?
I like walking. I always liked walking lunges. But again, if you don't have the room, stationary. Or, this is cool. Ready for this? Do both.
Ooh, both of them.
Both of them.
What is it about walking lunges that you like?
I like the feel of going forward, coming off that leg, because it's more of a contraction to the glute hamstring. Mm-hmm. Where if I am stationary, then it's more of a quad and I'm pushing backwards. So I'll come up all the way instead of staying in it. So yeah, that's what I like. I like that going forward. We're in the hardcore cut, guys. We have, I think I'm 2.5 weeks away from starting the next movie. So 2.5 more weeks. So it gives me that perfect time to get a nice little dry out, finish out, and then fill out. In it, drinking the water. Are you guys doing the water?
I feel like I'm stuck at 182. Really want to get up to 200 pounds. Have a hard time eating a ton. Any advice?
Well, I'm not sure where the issue is with eating the calories that you need to put on the weight. I'm assuming, I'll guarantee that you're calculated out your calorie intake. You know exactly how much calories you need to take to put on the weight. So that's already set. And then you just take those meals and split them up in a good small portions, and you're going to be fine. It's as simple as that. What would be the professor? What would be the Instagram famous person's answer to that one?
Like, I mean, you killed it right there out of the park, honestly. If you don't know what you need to eat to gain weight, you're fucked. You're just going to be,
What's your tricks to gaining weight? What's your tricks? It's not about gaining weight. His question was about the food to gain the weight. So what is tricks to eat more?
There's no tricks to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no tricks? Oh, shit. Damn, man. Jeez. I'm asking all these guys. I just remembered.
There's no tricks to eat.
It's a cool, it really is. Here, if there's any question here and you're looking for a trick, there's no trick to.
There's no tricks.
Yeah, there's no tricks.
Because at the end of the day, it's like what Mike said. You have a number that you have to eat. So you have to eat that number no matter what.
Remember the monologue last night Jonathan did when he was on his date?
Mm-mm.
And his monologue was just talking about
when he
yeah, and didn't matter what she asked. I'm telling you this, and this is how it is.
Yeah.
And so, for anybody here, we saw Magazine Dreams last night, and there was a monologue, and Jonathan does when he's on his date, and you'll all see this. But the monologue should be something that resonates with you. I know it's an awkward time for that one, and probably not the best place to do it, and how he did it. But the intent was that nothing was going to stop him from his dream.
That's right.
And it was so intense, and that belief. And I had that at 9. I said, "This is what I'm going to do for a lifetime." And will I eat enough? Well, I'm stuffed. Don't matter. Eat. The goal is bigger than the consequences of everything else around it. So you want to weigh 200? You'll weigh 200. You'll get the food in. You got the calculations. You'll spread the meals out. You'll make it happen.
That's all you can do. I started drinking more shakes until it turned into food.
And there you go.
Then at the end, it's just a number.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no matter how you want to do it, no matter what kind of dense foods you want to eat, no matter if you want to drink it, it's a number.
I think
for you.
Here's a good point. I'm hoping you got this number and you're stuffed because that number is more than you've done. Okay. And this is for everybody. And this is how it works. Well, you got to push through it. It's like a 300-pound bench. You got 300. Well, now I need 315. Okay. It's going to take some time. Your body's got to get used to it, and you got to get a little bit more muscle, and then you'll get it. And same thing here. You got a calorie intake of 2,500, and you just went from 2,000 to 25. Well, I'm stuffed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. In a couple weeks, that's a lot of food for me for some reason. I just can't get it in. I'm stuffed most of the day. Within a couple weeks, you're going to wake up, and now that same amount of calories will make you feel like you're starving. Well, now it just turned on. That's how it works. The body will just turn on and go, okay, so you really want me to get this 25 and you want me to utilize this calories. Okay, I'll start working with you. That's, when they talk about plateaus or your body not working with you, that's you got to give it time to catch up to what you're doing. It needs to trust you. That's the cool thing about everything, about lifting, about your nervous system, about food intake. Your body's there to protect you. Keep forcing it, keep pushing it, keep stressing it, and it will give in. And it will support this next step, and then it will support the next step.
It's like when we're doing power bodybuilding and we're deadlifting heavy and squatting heavy. I don't care. Like after a couple weeks, I don't care how many calories you give me. I'm still starving.
Yeah.
I'm just starving. That's like when we're lifting heavy and in it.
And the flow of it It doesn't happen week
Yeah.
1 or 2,
No.
but
Yeah,
but
like when we're
a couple
in it.
weeks in it, when the body says, okay, I get it, we're on power bodybuilding, and you start getting to week 5 and 6, and the numbers are starting to go,
Mhm.
and it's the whole avalanche. Oh, you got me going. Now I'm really going. Now you got to play catch up.
There's the trick.
Yeah, train hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Jeffrey's
question,
looking
yeah.
for some good questions here. You guys, we rock and roll on these bad boys.
I don't know where it's at, but somebody asked what's in your water.
That's why I think I tried to do this. So I got my aminos, all my different types of aminos in there, and some sodium and some carbohydrates.
Drinks his own sweat.
Who is?
You drink your own sweat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's in here. And I drink this. And it's this, dry out phase right now. So it's 3 gallons of water a day.
3
3. What do you think Bubba's on today?
negative. He's probably sneaking some food out there.
He's walking the dogs down to the beach pizza.
Exactly. I gotta put a tracker on Khaleesi.
Yeah, thanks for the question. This was also the amino acids is my take to my water, and I love that I drink amino acids throughout the day, from morning to night. The other one was a recommendation from Stan Efferden, and I agree with it. And I probably did it as soon as he told me to do it, and I tried it. I was like, I fell in love. I could see the difference.
Frank Zane told us he would do it too. He would overdo it on BCAs. He used to take all these tablets all the time.
He loves this. He loves them.
What foods are best for tendon and ligament strength?
Steak, eggs,
Ooh.
and there's some other ones. Do a little research on that one, but those are some of the big foods. And then, I would supplement when it comes to the ligaments and stuff. So add in some collagen, get your fats in there. The red meats are like essential for it. And then mileage, again, try to keep the mileage down. But he asked about food, so there you go.
Have you ever had conversation with previous training partners that you had to part ways with as you didn't really align with them? I'm trying to uplift my training partner, but it seems to not work.
No, I never talk to those little. When I burn them out, I burn them out. I move on. And it's I've had some great relationships with my training partners, but with time, I don't,
They can't,
it's they can't hang, they can't hang. You'll find some good ones. I mean, Robbie Robinson's over 25 years now. Kelly,
Mhm.
Pooh Bear is a great one. You guys probably seen Prime Rib coming in train with me, but he would train with me twice a day, 6 days a week, back in late 90s. He still trains periodically now, but I can just tell you an example of life set you up this way. But I think yours is more just for right now. You shouldn't have to psych up your training partner.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not a good training partner. Unfortunately, here's your reality check. It's like a relationship. If the training partner is not showing up, here's a tough one for you guys too. This is going to be tough to find this nowadays. If the training partner doesn't show up and you have an off day and they don't start barking and get your ass moving, again, it's not a good training partner. If it's always you leading and having to bring the energy, and that's why, like, till this day, Kelly will come in, Pooh Bear will come in and train with me, and he'll get some smack talking and again, for me, I like anger during lifting because it raises your testosterone and it's
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I love the bullying. I like getting bullied. Kind of kinky that way. But yeah, get a training partner. It's like a relationship. You want a good one.
Blood work scheduled for early April. Moving in the right direction. Thanks, Mike and Titan Crew, for all that you give us.
Awesome. Awesome.
Just recently got my little brother, 13, into training. What are some of the most important things to teach him in this beginning phase?
Oh. Don't rush. Yeah, the two things. Don't rush. Be patient. You're 13. For him, he's 13. Also, don't rush in the exercises. If he's just starting, he's 13. I would take your time moving through the exercises. And we said this a couple months ago, and I think this is, again, a perfect time for a 13-year-old. Make sure he understands how to flex the muscles. So he's not curling like this, which a 13-year-old could, right? But he understands, okay, I can flex it. I can hit that arm. Okay, so when I move, I need to move through it with the biceps. And I think everybody, not even just your little brother, 13 years old, but everybody here could learn to do that. And that's one thing that I think is missed in the gym. And like Dorian said the other day, Dorian said, you go into a gym nowadays and you look around and you're just like, yeah, I'll skip that. Go slow. Take his time. Balance. He's 13, man. He's going to be going through puberty now or in the next year. Don't worry about weight. Balance, moving through an exercise correctly are the most key points, especially for 13.
What about nutrition for him at that age?
Yeah. Help out. Tell mom and dad. Feed. 13. Yeah. That's a huge thing for everybody here. I can't feed. My kid just turned 6 and he eats more calories than I do. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So, yeah, feed him. His body is burning like a maniac. Oh, we're sorry about the production right now. We got Bobo coming in just babbling away. All right.
Where'd they go?
How long was he gone?
Where'd they go?
7 minutes?
You're not even panting. You're not even hot.
Oh. All right. Oh, man. Remember the guy that says, hey, what do you do about your training partners?
Uh-huh.
Don't ask him. Don't pressure him.
Yeah. There he is.
If they want to go, let them go. If they don't want to go train with you, don't train. Move on.
How do you drink 3 gallons without going to the bathroom every 10 minutes?
No, you're going to the bathroom every 10 minutes. 100%.
I think it's every 5
Yeah,
minutes.
it really is. Man.
He's pissed 3 times during this live.
Last night I had to go see this movie and Mona's like
Oh, yeah.
around, I don't know, about 4 o'clock. She goes, stop drinking. Stop. You're going to go to the bathroom like 10 times during the movie. And so I did, but I still, man. The number one thing to keep a metabolism moving is water. How cool is that? And so with this drought that I'm doing right now, I'm going from those 3 gallons. On Thursday, I'll cut back to 2 gallons. On Saturday, I'll cut back to 1 gallon. Now, what's funny is it's called a dry out or peak week. And even though it sounds like you don't do any water, you still do a gallon of water, a little, even a 3/4 of a gallon the very last day. You're still doing a lot of water compared to an average person that doesn't drink, a half a gallon a day. And the body just, how it functions with water and how you look, it's an amazing thing.
Mike, I've had a full year off at the gym after going consistently for 4 years due to some family stuff. How should I maximize the effects of muscle memory in terms of training volume?
But the great thing is start slow. Go 3 days a week. Make sure the nutrition's on point. Go 3 days a week. Cool thing about muscle memory is it comes back, and it comes back quick. I wouldn't do this though. Gosh, that's tough, man. That hurt to hear that you took a year off. I know life gets in a lot of ways and hits you and knocks you down, but go 3 days for the next month. Just start slow. Just make sure your nutrition is on point. For anybody here, just know that nutrition's, I can change a person's body with just nutrition and not exercise. I can't change a person's body that exercises but doesn't diet. Again, the guy that just walked in.
He's pointing to Bobo.
Yeah, I'm not pointing to this one. I'm going the other way. That's a good example, though. It's a good example. Goes and trains with me, but diet. Yeah, I'm bullying him.
Is he in the sauna?
Just throw the beat back.
If you see someone doing exercise horribly wrong in the gym, do you correct them?
No, I turn my back to him. I don't get that kind of, I don't, people aren't that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, that's a woke mind. You think that every person that does it wrong, and you're like, well, I know how to do it, I'm going to go tell them. That's a good way for you to get told off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing about the gym is the ones that really want to do it and the ones that are in there, they'll ask.
Mm-hmm. Like the guy about his physique. Came right up to you, asked.
Yeah. If they really want it, they'll come up and ask or they'll get a trainer, or they'll go, hey, here's the thing. I'm smart enough to know I'm not smart in a lot of aspects. I'm not going to do the stock market. And if I ever do, I'm not the one that's going to do it. I'm going to ask somebody that's done this and been there. Now, that should be, I would think, with everything. But for some reason, when it comes to health and fitness, you listen to a video, you get the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? And you're suddenly, I watched this girl, Mary, told me how to do nutrition. Cut the carbs, take the fats down to 20%, and just do protein. I'm good. All right. Mary was also 19 years old and was a former athlete. And yeah, I don't. I get my workout in. And that's why I trained for early, so I could just keep it old school, go into the gym and not see a lot of those accidents. Because for me, it's an amazing craft. So think of this. You're a doctor and you work at a hospital. And you're helping people. Not only are you helping people, you are a good example of what health or this hospital can do for you. And then all other 10 doctors are doing the bullshit medicine and telling them, don't worry about it. Keep having your Coke. Keep eating McDonald's. Take this medication. Go on your way. After a while, you're not going to want to work there. Or at least you're not going to want to see and deal with these guys because they're just sending you down the wrong thing. And that's how I think of the gym. Is like, I don't want to see a lot of that stuff. And that's all I see. I see trainers teaching people bad form, life coaches at 19 years old. It's like, geez, well, I can't wait to hear this. So choose somebody that's been there for a long time and watch. And I know they don't have the biggest social media pages, but watch some of the ones that have done it for a long time that are healthy. Go look at Clark's page. And if you like doing aerobics or calisthenics, he's a great example. Go watch Terry Crews, somebody, he's in his 50s, 55, and still looks good. And again, an athlete that weight lifts. And so he trains in a smart way to keep active and mobile. So there's a lot of people out there, but I find that if you keep going to the 20-year-old trainers, listen, you're 20. If you're not in shape, yeah, I mean, I don't. So, but you're going to somebody also that's not having issues with mileage yet. You're not having any kind of issues or slowing metabolism or testosterone drops or anything like that. So find somebody that's out there that's done it and it's got good information for you and watch them how to do it and stuff. I know that was really long-winded, but oh, here it is. Here's the cameo coming back. Hey.
See a lot of wrong stuff in the gym.
Gosh, yeah. You worked the front desk. What was it like to be stuck there and see?
I was just checking out chicks. And
Then
artists, so
smart. Okay, okay. All right, same thing. All
I
right.
was chilling.
I ain't watching dudes lift.
Fuck no.
Good point. Well played, sir. Couple more guys.
Couple more. Let's go. Jeremy Davis. What up?
JD.
Mike, last month I heard you say it's always hard for the athletes to put on muscle.
Yeah.
I played basketball 4 years in college and just couldn't do it. Why is that?
Okay, so understand what I was saying. I was saying someone who was in sports and athletic and training correctly and doing it for a long period of time is hard for them to get better. So, it's the small things. So you didn't understand that correctly. You're just taking it the format that if you're an athlete, it's hard to put on muscle. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is their level, they've gone so much and done so many things correctly at the level they're at. Okay, so they're really good. So for me, I'm a big size guy. It's going to take me a while because I've been doing this at a high level my whole life to get a pound of muscle. But I can get 5 pounds or 10 pounds of muscle on a beginner. That was the point I was making. On a beginner has never worked out. This guy took a year off. That guy that said it earlier that took a year off, he's going to gain 5-10 pounds of muscle this year. Well, that's great. Again, he's starting back. It's been a year. So the beginners will put on more. That was actually what I was stating. But for you, during college, your metabolism was high and you were playing basketball. Is that correct? So you're doing a lot of exercise. So you had to take in a large amount. I know how much the down and ups and all that stuff that you guys had to run. And you're in college. So just being a college kid, the amount of calories that you burn and walking around and studying and being up, you're already high. Even if you don't exercise, don't work out, don't do anything except school, you're burning a lot. And I think that's what people forget. I think you guys think that just walking around in a day, you don't burn anything. That's why you don't have to eat. No, your body will slow down because of that. And it's harder for that younger one to slow down. You can do it, but it's harder. And I don't want you to. That's the point of that.
Forearm growth advice. Let's pull in our forearm growth expert.
Yeah. Can I see those bad boys?
Only his right arm.
Can I see those forearms over there?
Kind of a treasure. I don't want to get.
Can you give us a couple links to some good forearm workouts?
You got some grips.
Yeah.
Looking nice. Yeah. Yeah, but
Oh,
Pick up some of these bad boys. Let's see. Which one's the 250?
yeah, one of those.
you got the
nuts.
scale?
I got that.
Have you got
See
the
if you-
scale to do this?
I got the scale.
Yeah, it's
Try
something.
that.
We can test our.
You got it?
Almost.
Oh, I can't get that one.
I can get that one. That's easy.
Okay.
Get
I
it.
guarantee you get this one. So pick up some of these. Don't use straps during workouts. You got that one, right?
It's rough.
This one's tough, though.
Is that 250?
250. No, didn't get it.
It's like a little bit.
Oh, I just. Okay.
left song.
Get it. Yeah. Oh, that's why Bobo is the forearm champion. He tapped that thing like it was nothing. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Grip strength. Don't use straps. But also just big forearms, bigger arms. Go check out the video Arnold talks about. I know he says a couple different things, but he never tried to get big forearms or oversized forearms because that means he has to make his arms bigger. The illusion. So are you getting big forearms because you want them? Great, Popeye. Or are you just trying to get better looking arms?
Jeremy says that's the only muscle group Bobo trains.
Fact.
The most consistent.
Like I said, guys, earlier, it's consistency. That's why Bobo's got strong forearms.
Do you have a movie coming out, Mike?
It's out Friday. Magazine Dreams, guys.
Uh-huh.
You guys see that in theaters?
It's a good one.
Did it keep your attention the whole time?
Yeah.
Because it did for me.
Yeah. I like
Where there's lulls in some movies. And again, I don't know.
This,
Was it because I was in it? Or
I think it's the way they had intertwining stories. So your attention always wasn't waiting for one arc to happen. There was the story of the girl. There was the story of the youth, story of the youth, the story of the father. There were all these things that were coming together, keeping your attention going. I feel like that kind of helped.
I also I just realized this. The guy I was with last night made a comment that he has ADHD, whatever.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
ADHD.
and he can't stay with anything very long. He says, I was locked in on the movie the whole time.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they killed it.
Did you notice they only did one flashback at the very end?
The
demise.
Yeah.
And then it was the mother and father.
It was quick, too.
And it was quick
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might have done one previous to that, but that's the only one I remember. I thought that was great. Instead of the whole movie doing the flashbacks, they kept you in the present.
Hey, Mike, what's a lesson that you feel has taken you the longest to learn?
You don't know anything yet. You still learn.
That's a great question. Jeffrey, what's your answer to that for you?
What has taken me the longest to learn? That's a good one.
I think if this isn't lifting, does it say lifting? In life, I would say it's about the moments. And if you can live in the moments, that's really tough, though. I don't care who says different. For me, it's really tough. I'm always thinking about tomorrow, the next thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, just stay consistent and keep using it as a tool to make your metabolism faster, just like weightlifting. If I stay strong, I'll keep muscle. If I stay strong, the ligaments will stay strong. So I think there's a lot of stuff I knew as a kid, and I was around great people to teach, and I listened. But at this stage of the game, going through being there and done it, it's just the confirmation of the understanding that the 60s and 70s and 80s guys had it figured out with weightlifting. Great question, though. Doc, ask Doc that same question. Bobo, can you answer that?
Jeez, I've got many of those. What's the question?
Is there a specific lesson that you feel has taken you longest to learn? Oh, I already know Bobo's.
He still hasn't learned. camera on his face.
I already know.
Questions, please.
And on that note, I think we're done. Oh, if you're a hot girl, I'll give you Bubbo Star. He still hasn't learned. Oh, that hurt me.
Oh, shit.
Great question. Oh,
Sometimes I don't know why I went here.
I'm sorry. It wasn't me.
But I was
It
thinking
wasn't
the
me,
same- I was
Griff.
thinking
Hey,
the-
Griff, it wasn't me.
Listen, I was
Don't be
thinking-
mad at.
I was
I'm
thinking the
taking
same
credit for
thing
it.
before you even said it. I wasn't going to say it.
I feel bad. He's sensitive.
Is it okay to train 6 to 7 days a week, or do we need to rest more than that?
Oh, this is a great one. It's a great question. And the answer is you're going to let me know. How have those gains been the last 3 months? Right? You've been gaining muscle. You've been getting stronger, right? Let us know. Because that answers your question for anybody here. If you're doing it right, you'll know. You're getting leaner if that's what you're doing at the time. You're getting stronger if that's what you're doing at the time. If you are just staying still and you're training 6 to 7 days a week and you haven't gotten better, think about that for 2 seconds. Just for 2 seconds, think about that. I'm giving it that much and the body's not changing. There's a lot going wrong. So I get the question, but again, all these things are self-answered.
I saw a thing with Dorian Yates where he answered that question kind of and said, if you're a person.
How's he training now?
If you're a person on
Matt-
gear, he said, if you're a person on gear, 6 or 7 days a week. If you're natural, 4 days.
Is that that's right?
That's what he said.
So you just quoted one individual.
Dorian Yates. I just said I'll watch the thing with Dorian Yates where somebody asked him that question.
Right.
That's how he answered it. So I was just in discussion, but that's what he said.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Jeez
Louise. Awesome. Great.
let me
Here's to the Bible, though.
get one of these.
Anyway,
You want to quote anybody
check
else?
with Dorian Yates on that question because
Yeah. Okay.
that was just on Instagram yesterday.
What's Robbie do? He
For
gets
what?
in about 5 days, 6 days, but he's always
I'll
improving.
ask him.
It's always he knows his body so well. And I can't do that. Don't do the one individual.
Right.
For the mass majority,
Yeah, he knows.
yeah, you already know 6 to 7 days is too much. I love it. I love training. I try to do 5. It ends up at 7, but I do it for a different reason. So make sure that you're improving. Make sure you're improving. All right. And not putting too much mileage on the body. Last question.
Last one. Mike, I love incline bench, but I don't have access to dumbbells or a cable machine. Would back down sets on the incline at a lower intensity be good? Or maybe suggest mixing in some reverse grip bench?
Well, you're doing chest, so I wouldn't recommend a reverse grip bench for chest. Again, that's a tricep exercise. I'm glad you love inclines. I wish more people would understand how important inclines are. More important inclines are than flat. That being said, so do this. You can do incline and still do the majority of the muscle, right? And focus on the majority of the muscle by a good arch. And it's still, again, a little bit more upper chest. And then switch it up and do some high necks. That would be a great secondary. And then do partials. If you don't got a lot of other stuff, then drop into some partials. And that way you're booming off of some extra poundage. And then go over, do some floor presses. Can you do that? That's a great one. But again, depending on what you have there.
So more so than just drop downs or drop backs.
Well, yeah, because now you're doing the same
Variations.
form over and over and over again. So
Right.
it went from 5 sets of inclines to 10 sets of inclines.
Mhm.
When you could do 5 sets of inclines, 5 sets of incline high necks, or 5 sets of incline partials. So there's a lot of different factors of that. That's what I would do. I'd switch it just a bit so there's something else going into play. The Parcels is going to be heavier weight. The high neck will be more isolation for the upper chest.
Mhm.
So those are all factors.
Is that it? Was that the last one?
That's it. Hey, great,
That was
great
it.
last one though. Hey, do you want to quote anybody, Bo?
Yeah.
And have a good day, guys.
Michael Hearn.